Hidely ho, Drinkerinos! It's this season's Larry Bird episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast with me, Steve Kuntz. Today, we celebrate the legend by delving into the delectable world of beer and wine pairings with the one and only Bryan Lee. Bryan wrote a book, 150 Food Science Questions Answered, and is an all-around great guy. He knows all about the sciencey reasons behind why certain foods pair with certain beers and wines, and we'll explain all about that. Plus, we can do some bonus content and talk about all the horrible things we did in college while in Southern California. Then, Guten Tag! It's an Okto-filled Boise Beer Buddies community calendar. Plus, we have something perfect for our pregame in our Warren Reserve cocktail of the week. So sit back, relax your palate, and be prepared to be amazed on this episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast. It's time for the Warren Reserve cocktail of the week. This week's cocktail is the Espresso Martini with a slight twist. It's the pumpkin spice Espresso Martini. For this one, you're going to need some vodka, some espresso. I don't know what that was. The key to this drink is espresso. You need freshly made, preferably freshly made espresso to really make this drink work. Maybe some Kahlua. I like to use coffee liqueur. I think mine is called Mr. Coffee. It's quite good. And then we're going to use 1.5 ounces of the Warren Reserve pumpkin spice syrup. And then if you have a little bit of that pumpkin pie spice stuff for garnish and some ice, that would work as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chill our martini glass up. This thing, make it cold, make it frosty, and you're going to have a great drink, I promise. So you go ahead and chill that thing for maybe 15, 20 minutes, half hour if you want. It doesn't take much to get that thing chilled down. And then in a cocktail shaker filled with ice, you're going to combine your vodka. We're going to do 2 ounces of vodka, 2.5 if you're feeling saucy. Espresso, that's going to be 2 ounces of espresso. Again, freshly made, and then you can chill it if you want. It's probably better to chill it so it doesn't melt all that ice. And then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of our coffee liqueur. This is Mr. Coffee that we're using, or Kahlua, whatever floats your boat. Then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of pumpkin spice syrup from Warren Reserve. You're going to throw that all into the shaker with some ice and a pinch of that pumpkin pie spice, that stuff, the spice stuff in the spice rack. That's all powdery, whatever it's called. You're going to shake this drink until it is very cold, almost too cold to touch, and then you're going to double strain it into a martini glass. Then sprinkle a little bit of that pumpkin pie spice on top, maybe a cinnamon stick if you like, star anise if you're feeling up to it. And that's going to be your Warren Reserve cocktail of the week, the pumpkin spice espresso martini. Go ahead and give that thing a nice big taste. It's going to be amazing. Get 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 pumpkin spice cocktail syrups from Warren Reserve for the low price of $29.95. But wait, use my promo code SPICE2025. Get 20% off of those pumpkin spice syrups so you can make your own amazing fall cocktails. That's SPICE2025 for 20% off from me and from WarrenReserve.com. This has been your Warren Reserve cocktail of the week. This show brought to you by Warren Reserve Cocktail Company. Leaves are changing. The weather is turning. There's a faint whiff of chimney smoke in the air. It must be pumpkin spice season. Warren Reserve's wonderful pumpkin spice cocktail syrup is back for a limited time only. So rush to WarrenReserve.com and get not 1, not 2, but 3 PSC syrups for less than $10 per bottle. That's 3 bottles of pumpkin spice syrup for just $29.99. Use this syrup in anything from a pumpkin spice old fashioned to a pumpkin spice espresso martini. Hell, just pair it up with your morning coffee for a riff on that famous fall drink. The pumpkin spice world is at your fingertips with the pumpkin spice cocktail syrup, now available from Warren Reserve Cocktail Company at WarrenReserve.com. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kuntz, and we are talking about beer today. It's a big beer show. We're going to do some pairing stuff. We do talk about wine a little bit and some booze with our special guest, Bryan Lee. He's going to be on just a little bit later. For now, I want to talk about, I wrote a column on Monday, part of my series of Craft Beer is Dead columns. This one, I wrote about how IPA just isn't what people my age are drinking all that much anymore. I mean, we're drinking a ton of IPA. Let's not get it twisted. There's still a lot of IPA being drank. Hazy IPA, West Coast IPA, whatever. We're drinking it. I'm not saying that we're not drinking it. All I'm saying is that we're not drinking as much of it. Craft beer sales down 3%. IPA is still the top dog in the market when you're talking about beer sales. But people my age, I'm in my 40s. We drank a ton of IPA in our 30s, and now we're a little fucked out on it. Honestly, I still love a good hazy. I still love a good West Coast IPA. I actually like a West Coast probably better than a hazy at this point. I used to drink the shit out of hazies. I even sold them. A lot of you guys know I was a huge proponent of the hazies. I tried to get one done at Edge. Famous story. Didn't come out hazy. It was still really good, but Boston Juice Party, not a hazy. Geez, just totally see-through. Amazing. Anyway, so I was a huge proponent when Revision came to Idaho. I really got in on that, so much so that I went to work for the distributor that sold it, and I sold a ton of Revision here, and I did Toppling Goliath. I love hazy. I loved hazies. I still do like hazies, but let's face it, all that yeast in the gut, not a lot of fun times after you drink, your $22 4-pack of hazy IPA. West Coast IPA, a little bit easier to handle. Not so much haze, not so much fluff, just a pretty easy drinking IPA at this point. So we still drink IPA. No one's saying nobody drinks IPA. All I'm saying is craft beer is dead. And the reason is because people my age are choosing Pilsners and light lagers and the such rather than going whole hog on a night filled with 7% IPAs. And I got a lot of fun reviews on this one. I put it on Reddit, for better or for worse. This thing went on Reddit. And one guy called me narcissistic, which I enjoyed. That was really good. Don't disagree. I do this podcast basically to hear myself talk for about an hour. So I get it. Yeah, narcissistic is fine. Another guy said that it was a tired and old take, which I thought was funny because it's the first time I ever saw that take, but whatever. So that was fun. Another guy said that he's tired of these doom and gloom articles. I don't think he read it, or he definitely didn't get it. Another guy said I was funny. And then I had some more Facebook comments as well. Thank you so much to everybody who read it. Really appreciate it, especially if you were on Reddit and you read it. I appreciate that even doubly so. So yeah, I love putting my columns up to see what people think. It's my favorite thing. I still really enjoy writing, and I still enjoy all the stuff I get for it because I think people really do enjoy actually taking 5 or 10 minutes to sit down and read something if it's like a subject they care about, like craft beer. And the reason why I came up with this gimmick was because I thought seeing craft beer is dead in an actual column was kind of funny. So that's what I did. And I'm happy I did it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my Substack. If you haven't joined my Substack yet and you're listening to this podcast, what the hell are you doing? Just go fucking sign up. It's free. You get this right in your email box. You get all my columns in your email box. You don't have to go searching around on Reddit for it because God knows what else you're going to find on there. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get that column up. I'm going to try to do it every week. And I have some people holding my feet to the fire on that one. So I'm excited for the next one. It's going to be really good. And I don't know. I haven't written yet. Maybe it'll suck. I am a narcissist, so I don't care whether or not it sucks or not. So also going on, oh man, lots of fun Oktoberfests happening and happened already. Some fresh hop stuff also happening. Let's talk about the good stuff first. Congratulations to our friends at Barbarian, James and Bree, friends of the show. Bree came on the show. James, too afraid, didn't come on. But we had Bree on, and she couldn't have been more charming and better on the show. We'd love to have her back on sometime. 10 years at Barbarian. Congratulations, you guys, for keeping our beer scene weird. I really appreciate it. I love going there. I love seeing all the familiar faces that work there, and couldn't be prouder of Bree and James. 10 years. That's amazing. Also, congratulations to Ruckus. They have an upcoming anniversary, 1 year for Ruckus. So whereas Barbarian, old kids on the block there in Garden City, Ruckus, the new and upcomers. And then speaking of year, also looks like Loose Screw is going to be 1 year in their new building. So congrats to them as well. So lots of fun stuff going on. And now for the stuff that's not so fun, it's like Sockeye just announced today. So this is Thursday, I guess, when I'm recording this, that they are closing their ale house on 36th Street. So I guess it didn't work out. They kind of were vague about it. They said they're closing the restaurant version of it. So I don't know if the bar is still open. I don't really understand, kind of what's going on there. It seemed like maybe it was their former marketing guy's baby and he's gone now. So maybe nobody else really wanted to keep it going. I don't know. We'd love to have someone on from Sockeye to talk about it. So if any of you guys want to come on and tell us what happened, that would be great. I'd love to talk to Josh, especially. He knows that. I'd have Bryan on at this point. Why not? I like Bryan. He's a good dude. Actually, any of those guys over there. Fuck, if Tyler wants to come on, let's get him on. I'd love to talk to Tyler on this podcast. That would be the most amazing hour ever. So Sockeye closes down their ale house on 36th Street, and they're going to refocus everything on Fairview. Not a huge surprise. Fairview is still hopping, still a great location. I'm going to say it. In Idaho, we have this stupid, dumbass, really dumb, stupid rule where breweries here can only have 2 locations. And you know what? Why not open the Cole Road one back up? It's still there. No one's there. I just drove by it the other day. No one's there. You could move right back into the Cole Road location. I think everybody would be pretty happy with that. And I know I would be. I would love to get back there. And that's actually closer to my house now, maybe even than the Fairview one. So that would be great for me. I am a narcissist, so I don't care what anyone else thinks, really. So Boise Brewing canceled or reworked their Fresh Hop. My favorite festival of the year, as everyone knows, is the Boise Brewing Fresh Hopstable, Fresh Hops Hopstable, whatever it is. So they canceled it. They went a different direction. They're still buying some fresh hop beers. They're putting them on tap in their tap house. Not sure if that's still going on or not. I can check the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar and to know for sure. But yeah, so that's sad. I really hate to see that because that's my favorite. That's the only fest I've even gone to, I think, in the last 2 years. So, Colin's been talking about it anywhere he can. I mean, it's been rough for them over there. I would tell everyone, go on over to Boise Brewing, grab yourself a beer and get some food. Their burgers are outstanding. Those flautas are outstanding. They have awesome food, awesome beers. Lance and his crew over there are doing a great job. So, go support them any way you can. Canceling that Fresh Hopstable, I know, was probably a big deal for them. And, it sucks. So, and then the other thing I had is what the hell is going on in Bodo? So this is, I guess, just for the Boise peeps. Everyone else up north can fast forward 20 seconds, but every single restaurant in Bodo closed. What is happening? Why can't we get some restaurants in Bodo to stay open for longer than 6 months to a year? And PF Chang's is closing. We couldn't support PF Chang's. Come on, people. Anthony's is still open. We can't support PF Chang's. It's crazy. Anyway, just don't know. I don't know I don't have an answer. It's just a note that I have. What the hell is happening in Bodo? I guess, the new Treefort Music Hall's there. I thought there would be more kind of fun events and stuff. I'm taking out my earphones. They're not working anyway. So I thought that there would be more events and stuff, more people down there. And I guess that's what the people at the Mexican place that closed, the Tex-Mex place that closed. Yeah. I went there one time. I sat in the bar for about 20 minutes. No one got an order from me. No one talked to me. So I can guess what happened there. Like that, I can guess. But PF Chang's, always exemplary. The food was amazing. The service was great. Awesome location. Can't understand what happened there. And then the third place that closed was the new sushi place that was Bodo Vino. And all I can really guess with that one is it's just a weird setup and design. It really just needs to be Bodo Vino again. So if those guys can get back on that, that'd be amazing. Onto some more stuff going on before we get to the Boise Beer Buddies calendar, which we're going to do later. Loose Screw is, let's just wait until we get there because I don't want to ruin it. I think that'll be fun. Anyway, we have an awesome guest on the show today, Bryan Lee. He is a doctor, and he is a doctor on food science. Wrote a book, 150 food science questions answered. Awesome book. He actually sent me a copy, and it is fantastic. He's a great guest. He's going to talk about all the sciencey reasons behind food pairings. We're going to talk about why beer and wine pairings work so well and why they might not. And we're also going to talk about some fun stuff that we did totally separate and did not go to school together, but we went to school in the same geographic region. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, but mostly it's going to be about beer and wine, food pairings, and how that sort of works all in your mouth. And that's coming up right after this. Fall is here, and that means football season. Gear up for your next Boise State or Idaho Vandal tailgate at Treasure Valley Chevron. Find propane, charcoal, wood chips, hell, even barbecue tools to cook up the best pregame snacks for you and your family at TVC. They have the best selection of rubs, sauces, spices, and TVC also carries a huge assortment of hot sauces, perfect for spicing up those hot dogs and hamburgers. Need some liquid encouragement? TVC has a huge selection of ice-cold beer, ready-to-drink cocktails, seltzers, and sodas to fill the cooler up right. Get to Treasure Valley Chevron at Beacon Light and Highway 55 or I-84 and Gowan Road. to get set up for your next tailgate. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. We are here with Dr. Bryan Lay. Dr. Bryan Lay, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
And Bryan told me it was cool if I call him Bryan. I don't have to throw the doctor in front of it, right?
No.
And you're not horribly
I'm good with it.
Like you're not upset.
I'm not offended.
Offended.
I don't live in an institution, I'm just a regular guy.
Well, you and I are kind of the same. I mean, I worked in a food science lab. You work in a food science lab. We have similar background.
Exactly.
You're more of a colleague, actually, at this point.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's how I
So
feel
we're
too.
good. We're on a first name basis. And that's
Super
how it's
chill.
gonna go. Yeah, super chill. Bryan, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about what you do. Tell us, kind of how you got here and what you're sort of doing right now.
Yeah, definitely. I went to UC Irvine for chemistry.
Yeah, you did.
Got super bored of the lab. Super bored.
In Irvine?
In Irvine, because I was doing chemistry. So, like drug synthesis or petrochemicals. It was like one or the other. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want this to be my future. So when I graduated from college, I decided to walk from California to Louisiana for 6 months. And that whole experience was like, hey, I got to eat a ton. And so I had this really, really intimate experience of like food is really important. So when I got done doing that, I meandered. I attempted to be a teacher. I hate high school students, so that didn't work.
Yeah, they're almost as bad as grad students.
Almost as bad.
Almost as bad.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. And then I worked at Caltech for a little bit, doing synthesis. Was like, oh my god, I'm doing that thing I hate. So I finally abandoned all that. Went back to graduate school and became, one of those sucky graduate students for 5 years. In food science. And I did this out in Wisconsin.
Telling people about your papers and stuff.
God,
carrying
the
a
worst
briefcase. Grad students.
The worst kind.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I tried to get out of that for a little bit. I worked at a cheese factory for a couple months. That was good. Wisconsin, right? That's like
hey, you know what?
Passage.
We make a lot of cheese here in Idaho too. We make a ton of cheese.
Exactly.
So yeah, I used to hang out with a lot of the cheese people down in Twin Falls and Jerome.
That's right. It was
them.
Chobani and everything.
Chobani, Sargento.
Yeah.
Glanbia is the other one.
Glanbia, that's right. That's huge. Oh my gosh, you guys are you're top dog when it comes to dairy products. Oh,
we're like the Wisconsin. We're like the Wisconsin of the Mountain West, basically.
I should start telling people that. Are you going to Wisconsin or
the Wisconsin of the Mountain West? It's the best.
Right.
You want to come here? We don't have as many lakes, but our mosquitoes are a lot smaller.
Oh my god, F the mosquitoes. I'm so done with Wisconsin. Jeez, don't even talk to me about mosquitoes. Yeah, so 5 years of that nonsense. And then I finally got my PhD in the middle of COVID. They were so tired of me. They were like, get out. You're done. Please stop bothering us. I was like, fine. I don't want to be here anyway. I'm done being a graduate student. I'm being a professional. And of course, I can't find a job.
Sure.
Right. So
that's COVID.
Yeah, as it goes. 10 years of education down the drain. So
you're like, I'm a doctor. And they're like, oh, great. We need you so bad. And you're like, whoa. Not that good.
No. I'm food doctor. I can, do surgery on a pear, right?
Oh, wow. Well, save that for the next time you're on the show, Bryan. But okay, so you graduate, you're on your way, you're going to go find a job.
I write a book, by the way. 2020. I write a book. That's my way of keeping sane. I was like, dissertation during the day, write a book at night, right? That's the kind of guy that I am.
Nothing makes you saner than sitting in a room by yourself and typing. I've always found.
Yeah, definitely
okay.
The Shining vibes, just typing over and over again. Yeah, so I start my consulting business because I got nothing else better to do. My wife at the time was like, dude, like, I can't have you sitting around like not making any money. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I built my consulting business, and luckily enough, it does make money. I did fulfill that promise, if you can believe that. But here I am, now I've got that going. I've got other ventures going. Like, life is really good. I can't complain. So, but I'm still doing the food science thing.
What would you say is your specialty within food science?
I love flavors. Like,
Me too.
I do other stuff. I always come back to flavors. It's the one thing that I can communicate to people pretty easily, right? Like, no one wants to hear that you're going to, like, go to the toilet for like 4 hours if you leave out rice, right? Like, no one needs to hear that. Like, that's like a medical thing. The doctors can talk about that. I can talk about the fun stuff, like, oh, if you pair this with that, and if you cook this with that, like, put enough salt. I like that, right? And it's a fun thing to talk to people about.
And so, one of the reasons that we're having you on our show, which is a booze podcast, is because you portend to be an expert on food pairings. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely portend. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's a writer word. That's a writer word there for you.
It's a good one. I love it.
You're
you
welcome.
Clearly have written books. Like
written book.
Book.
Yeah, written book.
Books is happening in the future.
There will be books. Right now, it's just book. Yes. So tell us about how you kind of got interested in that and how that came up and everything.
Yeah, like, during graduate school, I was so bored. Like, this is how bored I was. Like, while I was running my experience, I started reading research papers about, like, flavor, and especially umami. I was like, it's kind of related to what I do. I was working on garlic and onion, and we all know that garlic and onion is perfect for literally any dish. Like, you add garlic, you add onion, it's delicious. Like, you can't go wrong. Probably don't put it in you can probably put it in a croissant. Like, there's really, like maybe a cake. Like, don't do that. Like, that's a bad idea. But, anything else.
But anything else, fair game.
Mm-hmm. So I started going that route. And I was like, ooh, umami, that's a kind of cool concept no one really understands. So I started reading. I was like, holy crap, there's at least like 100 years worth of research around umami, which is like this really basic idea. I mean, it sounds fancy because it's Japanese, but it's really just savoriness, right? Like, it's like you eat a steak, you feel savory. Like, it's very distinct from, saltiness or sweetness. Or, it's like when you drink coffee, like, there's a savoriness to it, especially black coffee. And so, like, umami is kind of like that idea, but there's compounds associated with it, and you can pair them with other foods. And it's really interesting. It's like super fascinating. It gets really complex real fast. But
let's get into it. I love umami. Umami's great.
Yeah.
And I was in beer when I was like on a tasting panel or when I did barrel aged stuff or whatever. The umami is sort of like that soy. It's almost like a soy kind of richness, right? So what kind of things were you finding out? I mean, it's really funny because I think maybe 10 or 15 years ago, it was like 15 years ago, people were like, umami, the new flavor. And it's like, well, we've had these mouths for a long time now. Like, so how does that work where we have this new flavor? What
oh my gosh. Yeah, what happened was that it was actually discovered in like 1908 by this like famed chemist who incidentally also discovered MSG, right? Because they're related. But ultimately, like, the concept has been around in Japan and East Asia for at least 100 years. But what happened was that the Western scientists were like, there's no such thing as umami. Like, what is this like newfangled taste? Like, they were like, I don't know what you're talking about. Turns out, genetically, like, people of East Asian descent have more umami receptors than Western descent because they eat more foods that are enriched with this amino acid called glutamic acid, which is what elicits the umami taste in the first place. And it was only in 2002 that some biochemists actually discovered the receptor. And then finally people were like, oh shoot, we were wrong. Like, this is real.
This is just another example of us in the West, all of us West people being like, that can't be true until like one of us like discover like, oh wait, no, here it is. Okay. And then I'm sure the guys were like, look what we found. And everybody,
yeah, it was like a whole big
Asians,
deal.
Yeah, the Asians are like, great, you found soy sauce. Awesome.
You discovered soy sauce
in 2002. Nice work.
Oh, hilarious.
So that's ridiculous. But it's really interesting that 1908 is sort of where that the umami sort of happened. I would say the umami craze that we're still kind of in started about 2005 or 2006, maybe something like that. And so how have things been different for you as a food scientist, sort of doing things that have to do with umami or whatever it is you do with it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to just explain it. Like, when I'm working with a client or if I'm working with like a food company, like I don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of like proving to them like this thing exists. It's still kind of mysterious. Yeah, this is real. Like your tongue actually has it. Here's some papers. Yeah. Like it's not because I'm Asian. Thanks.
Are you Asian? Oh, you know what? You are. Okay, first time I know.
I went to UC Irvine. No.
You did go to.
I have to throw that out.
Yeah. No, that tracks. That tracks. I was gonna make a chemistry joke about dating Asians at UC Irvine when you were talking about that, but I didn't do it. I mean,
I did. Like, I mean, it was my best time of my life dating Asian girls, right?
You and me both.
Podcast.
That is a different podcast, and we will do that podcast. That will be a fun podcast.
Different chemistry, different flavor.
So much chemistry, and so we're so we're talking about umami. We're talking about the umami craze and everything. And when did you start to sort of like? I guess I don't understand. Like, who are the clients that come to you that are like, I need umami? Like, how does that work?
So it's the plant-based guys, right? Like, if you want to make a soy burger or if you want to make like a pea protein, like sausage or whatever, like plants don't inherently have a whole lot of umami. The only one is like, and you got to break it down, which is the whole process of making soy sauce. But soy does, but only after like mucking around with it.
After you mix it with like whatever it is, when you brew it or whatever, right?
Yeah, you brew it with like mold. Like it's a really complicated process, actually. I used to do it at home. But I was like, I'd
rhubarb. I for some reason I think about rhubarb when I think about umami too, because it's kind of rich. But yeah, I'm trying to think of another vegetable or fruit that has umami. That's tough. Maybe dates.
It's really hard. It's mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
And garlic and onion. Garlic and mushrooms. Yeah, those are the big ones.
So they come.
It's super rare.
So they come to you and they're like, "Hey, we want to make this Impossible Burger possible. How do we do it?" Basically.
Yeah, exactly. And
cool.
I made it got so annoying to do that I finally built a calculator that I have for free. I don't know if anyone actually uses it, but like if you're like a chef and you want to like plug in your dish, you can, and then it'll tell you how like savory it is.
Really? But there's a number? Yeah.
There's a number.
Explain to me the number.
There's like numbers.
This is a 5 umami. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for real. Like this is how
the
Japanese did it. It's crazy. Like they worked out all the like math, and I was like, holy crap! I finally got to use my high school math. Like I'm like, thank the Lord! Like it's finally paying off after 20 years. Right? Like.
So there's a number. Okay, so we can take what? Okay, the website is what is it? Mendocino Food Consulting.com.
Yep.
And you can
one of my projects. Yep.
You can go onto this website and you can go to projects, and you go down to, I guess it would be the flavor matrix.
I call it the Human Flavorome Project.
Oh,
that was
there
just
it is.
Fancy. Yeah, wow. I really need to rename that because it's really just like it used to be kind of fancy, and now I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, the genome thing is kind of 2000 late.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. Yeah, but it's still a clever name. It's a clever name. So I'm clicking on it right now, and so okay. So there's just a jillion little pull downs here, and then you have to put in, and then you how many grams it is or whatever. So
Exactly.
and then so I can just go. I'm just going to pick random things here. So I can go to asparagus. I don't know if that's going to really.
Sure. Yeah.
So you just put in all the ingredients. I'm not going to do this because you have to put in. Oh, they have barley. There's barley malt. You can put that in.
Yeah,
barley malt and I don't know, brown sugar. Anyway, you go through that and then you'd calculate it and it would tell you how much umami. What is the unit of measurement for umami?
So it's like the equivalent of the glutamic acid. Like glutamic acid is like one unit. So like that's like MSG basically. So pure umami. But like each food substance has a certain concentration, and you kind of want to. Yeah, it seems like you can get it around like 10 or 16 per like 100 gram of the food. You're like pretty golden. Like that's like a really good food. And I played around with it. I was playing with different sauces. I was like, oh, like this number keeps coming up. Like people really like it in this range. So it's a cool way to study it.
I made a sirloin steak last night. And so I have to, is it under beef? It's probably under beef, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, beef. Okay, cool. This is something I will play around with. Oh, beer.
Play around with it. There's beer in there. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about beer. Really well. Also, I wanted actually really quick on your company's website. It says designing the future of food. What does that mean? What are you guys doing?
I don't know. It sounds cool, right? Like it's like catchy. It's like got alliteration. I don't know. I mean, it's I used to be really idealistic when I started this thing, but like now it's like I made a vegetable chip, like the 15th vegetable chip. Like, really, is that the future of food? But I'm like, that's what people want. Like, that's what the clients want. I'm like, oh god. Like,
and then we'll circle back around to your book because we want to talk about that as well. But I want to talk about beer pairings. So I used to work in the beer business and I did a lot of pairing dinners and stuff. So I would always give a little spiel. I'd be like, okay, look, there's like 3 different types of pairings. There's cutting, there's contrasting, there's complementing. Those are kind of our 3 big ones, right?
No,
and so good. What's the science behind those as far as complementing, contrasting, and cutting?
I freaking love this because, I used to kind of think like this is kind of hokey, like it's just like people are just making stuff up. But it turns out there's real science behind it.
Just like umami.
Just like umami. So it's actually related to that. So when there's a certain threshold of umami, that's too much. That's like overwhelming. So the cutting, it comes out of the fact that there's acids in the beer. Or it could be any drink really, but the beer in particular is able to sort of like diminish our taste buds' ability to detect umami. So it drops it. So that's that idea of like, oh, if it's too rich, you're able to sort of modulate it to the level that you like it using acid. So that's the cutting aspect. And then there was this really cool, they called it wasn't called flavor pairing, it was called flavor networking, which was like they really wanted to like soup it up.
Yeah.
Really
I've definitely read that before. Yeah. Flavor networking.
Flavor networking. It's
really good.
So basically, it's a good one. It's like the social network. No, but basically the concept there was that they found after analyzing like 50,000 recipes across different cultures that there were certain flavors that overlap, which is that complementary aspect, where if you get the right flavor compounds that basically are the same, and it increases your perception and intensity of them. So like an example is like coffee and chocolate. You see that a lot. The reason why is because at least like 20 or 30 of the flavor compounds are the same. So you get this amplitude of like higher intensity when you combine them. So that's that complementary aspect. Okay. There's certain flavor compounds in beer, like the maltiness, the chocolate, the sort of like caramel flavors that complement maybe like a roast or something that is also caramelized. Same compounds. You just kind of like kick them up a notch. Instead of 1x, you get like 3x.
Yeah, so it amplifies that flavor in your mouth, makes it so it's bolder and more
Exactly.
pronounced. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Now, what about contrasting?
Contrast. So this flavor networking found that there are certain cuisines that are specifically like no overlap, zero overlap. Why? Because now you're hitting different neurons, right? You're hitting different taste buds that activate different parts of your brain. Okay. So you either get it close where it's like almost the same, or you don't do it at all, and that way you're like hitting the maximum number of like pleasure, signals. And so, you've got something that's completely different from it. It also gives you relief. Like, so if you eat something and then you eat something that's completely different from it, it gives time for all those flavor molecules to wash out of your taste buds. So then the next time you eat it again, then it's like it's ready to reset and you get the same intensity. Versus you go through a lot of flavor fatigue if you eat the same thing over and over again. That's why you cannot eat like oatmeal every freaking day. Like your brain goes crazy. Your psychology is like, please stop. Like you're killing me.
Or even once. I mean, it's just terrible.
Just start like just cardboard,
just
right?
Awful food. I know you food scientists love it. I took a food science class in college, and the teacher over and over, oatmeal's the perfect food. It's got fiber. It's got but
yeah.
What caused?
What caused? Yeah, turn it into beer, right?
And the only way you can make it, that's right, turn it into an oatmeal stout. The only way you can make it good, I was going to say, was in a chocolate chip cookie. That's it. That's the list. So this is all so fascinating to me because I've always I knew these things, like I knew them like, within my taste buds, and I knew them sort of, I don't know how you would say that. Like, I knew them like sort of, not theoretically, but the other one. You know it theoretically. You've done the
experimentally.
Yeah, experimentally. I'd say anecdotally.
Yes.
Anecdotally. So there's one other sort of thing with beer pairing in particular that I find really fascinating, which is regional sort of pairings. So this is like where you have something that takes place in one place that doesn't take place anywhere else. And so what are some of those kind of things that you've seen that are something maybe we don't have here, like maybe in Idaho or in the rest of the United States, that you've seen out and abroad that people are doing as far as pairings go?
I mean, I would say probably the Japanese really like to do that a lot. Like they have like a very specific regional food and cuisines that are like Hokkaido cuisine is very different from Tokyo cuisine, right? And so they brew their beers, their local beers at least, to sort of match a lot of that flavor profile. Like, so you might find like a certain kind of fish, for that kind of sushi that they eat or sashimi that they eat that might not be available all year round. Or like, there's certain kinds of persimmons that are like really good in certain desserts that, only grow in this like crazy hyper specific location. And so they'll brew a beer out of those persimmons and just kind of like amplify that flavor profile. So it's really interesting mix. Yeah, it's like super neat. I think the Chinese also have something similar to it, but I've never been to China, so I can't really, I look like I could have gone to China, but that's like not the case.
I don't see it again. I don't see it. But so I have a couple of weird ones that I want to run by you. You can kind of explain to me scientifically why this stuff is happening. And with whatever's happening, if you're moving or whatever it is, it's fine.
There's renovations.
Gotcha. There's some people working on the house.
Yeah.
So that's all right. So I really like, one thing that I really love that's kind of weird is, and it's something I had to do because I worked in the beer business, is pairing with IPAs. Pairing with IPAs is really difficult, right? Because the bitter of the hop kind of is, theoretically, is supposed to crush your taste buds, right? Especially if it's a high IBU. So I really like Indian food with IPA.
Yeah.
Explain to me why I like that so much. This show brought to you by Warren Reserve Cocktail Company. Leaves are changing. The weather is turning. There's a faint whiff of chimney smoke in the air. It must be pumpkin spice season. Warren Reserve's wonderful pumpkin spice cocktail syrup is back for a limited time only, so rush to warrenreserve.com and get not one, not two, but 3 PSC syrups for less than $10 per bottle. That's 3 bottles of pumpkin spice syrup for just $29.99. Use this syrup in anything from a pumpkin spice old fashioned to a pumpkin spice espresso martini. Hell, just pair it up with your morning coffee for a riff on that famous fall drink. The pumpkin spice world is at your fingertips with the pumpkin spice cocktail syrup, now available from Warren Reserve Cocktail Company at warrenreserve.com.
So yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that like there's a lot of flavor. They just throw every spice that they've ever seen in their entire life, and it's in there. There's like 15 spices. It's so hard to cook like genuinely good Indian cuisine because of that, because you have to go to like 16 supermarkets because they don't have any of that stuff.
It is. It's like an orchestra with a bunch of instruments that shouldn't be played together.
Yes.
Yeah,
totally. Yes, absolutely. They're very good at doing that. It's amazingly rich. But you know, again, it's that fatigue, right? Like there's a lot of fat. There's a lot of like different profiles, hundreds of molecules. And so, you know, bitterness, like as much as, you know, some people might not like bitter, and especially kids, as you grow older, it helps kind of tune the flavor profile. I think the happiness, you know, it's just like, hey, like I just need a little bit of a break. This is really intense. So your brain's like, give me something that's, you know, break it up a little bit. And like bitterness is always a good one because, you know, there's not a lot of bitterness in foods. Like, you know, there's some
not Indian food.
Not Indian food, man. That stuff is like super rich.
Rich. Yeah.
A lot of like positive flavors, very strong positive flavors. So I would say like that contrast definitely helps give your body that relief. And there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in the stomach too. Did you know that there's taste receptors in your gut?
So I've heard this, and it creeps me out. This is during this is something I figured out while I've been doing this wine book. Is that there's this new school of thought, which is probably the same school of thought that we've always thought was the best way. Is that people that spit their wine out when they're tasting it aren't getting the full experience because of those. So talk about that. What are these things? Are they like little feelers? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's wild. Like it's basically, you know, if you think about the evolution of like living beings, like all the way to like a fish, you know, the earliest fish is like, they had to figure out what's the difference between stuff that's going to kill you versus what's actually good for you. And so in order to do that, you know, your tongues didn't exist before. So it used to be sort of like a primordial gut. Right? And the gut's like, it'd be like, wow, this is poison, right? Like, or this is delicious. Oh, you know, like just like there has to be some kind of signal. So it started there, and then over time it evolved where like you don't have a lot of conscious thought about it, but the stomach is still receiving. Like, let's for say example, you eat something sweet. Suddenly the gut's like, oh damn, like there's all this sugar. Let's release, you know, insulin. Let's release, you know, enzymes. Let's make this a party. So like there's a signal there. There's something that tells you like, yes, you did good. You're not an idiot. You didn't drink bleach. Good job, right? Like keep it real. So it's true for everything. Everything. Keep them alive. Yeah, exactly. So like bitter compounds, same deal, right? Like you've got bitter receptors, you've got salt receptors, all sorts of things. Big giant.
So it's just the stay alive receptor is what it is. It's like,
it's not
you just ate oysters that were 4 days old. It's the same receptor as that. It's just, it also accepts food as well as pushes it out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I can understand that. I can wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
So there's one other regional thing I really like. And, you know, this is one that is really cool. So, you know about Belgian beer, right? You've had Belgian beer? Or you've heard of it?
I'm sure I have.
Aware of it?
I think I was a little too wasted, but yeah,
good for you.
Say what I did.
So Belgian beer is known the world over as the best beer, right? So you would know that you would think that other regions would have ways of enjoying Belgian beer. So my absolute favorite and Belgian food is actually pretty like kind of lame. It's like it is like French fries and waffles. Like it's not, and it's like it's basically like Central European food. It's a lot of cutlets. It's a lot of.
Is it like how Germans have good beer, but like that's about it?
And Spätzle. I mean, yeah, it is like that. So I know I have a buddy of mine who's he's Vietnamese. He owns a Vietnamese restaurant, in the Richmond
No
area.
shit.
Yeah. And it's called
Nice.
Mekong. And the pairings that he comes up with are just the most amazing thing ever. So explain to me why like Belgian beer is kind of sweet. It's on the higher alcohol side. Vietnamese food is like, like pho or like egg rolls, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Vietnamese food be such a great vehicle with Belgian beer? Because
You
it's
know, it's so
confounded me
interesting.
forever. It's confounded me forever.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
it's
think it's
perfect.
just. I think it's that clean flavor. I mean, being Vietnamese, right? Like,
All right.
huzzah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
say
That's
so.
what that
Married
name.
into it. Married into it.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, my Israeli wife, right?
Gotcha.
No, the truth is, Vietnamese cuisine. Like, I'm just gonna say it. All right, I think it's the best
So
cuisine.
good. It's French and Asian put together in a wonderful
Oh my
way.
gosh!
It's
Like,
the best thing.
Can you think about the best pairing, like, between
God.
that and like Vietnamese and French children?
So great.
No,
I'm with you
such
100%.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good. But anyway, like, so there's a really strong cultural understanding of like what makes food good, which is we have this belief in balancing all of those flavors, right? Like making sure that your sweetness, your sour, your savoriness, it's all in balance, and you have like refreshing like lettuce or like mint and that sort of thing. And I think with Belgian beer, it's like that same sort of crisp, clean flavor that like just melds right in. Like, I think there's really no way to better to say it. I mean, I think any other kind of like, regional or national beer doesn't quite work, because I think it doesn't have, there's, I would say it has something to do with the water. I think like every time I read about beer, it seems like the water has a lot to do with,
So definitely a hidden component. It's like, it's the difference between good and great when it comes to beer. Like, so there's breweries that I've been to and that I've worked with that don't do anything to the water, and there's ones that do. And it's just like, almost like our stomach receptor. It's almost imperceptible to the mouth, but you know it. Like you just feel it.
Yeah, exactly. So I find it really fascinating, like this whole,
It also sort of Belgian beer also, because it's a lot of times a higher alcohol. So I think it also kind of adds fuel to the fire a little bit. It's the same thing with, I think, with big IPAs and Indian food. Like, it just like, if you take something spicy, like the thing that's great about pho is you can make it as spicy as you want, right? Like me and my buddy Jed, we get the chili paste, we get one each, and we load it up. And then I put a little hoisin in. I put a little hoisin in to even it out a little bit, and then the lime is nice. So you get like all of those kind of flavor profiles. I think to me, as a layman, I would say the Belgian beer is nice because it has a sweet component, has sort of that alcohol that's kind of big alcohol that also is sort of savory, and it sort of does really well with that. But I don't know. It's always confounded me, like, why it works.
I want to like speculate. I don't know if this is true. This is like
wildly speculate, Bryan. Wildly speculate.
This is me talking not as a scientist, but as a human. Right?
Okay,
yeah,
let's hear it.
Sorry.
Let's hear it, human Bryan.
Human Bryan, which is that like the alcohol is a carrier, right? It's a carrier for flavor. So it allows it to sort of like evenly distribute across your tongue, or like, into your gut, or wherever the heck it goes. And I think, with sort of the like variety of flavors that's in Vietnamese food that's well paired, it's like an even experience, right? Like you don't get hit in the front of your tongue. You don't get like smacked in the back of your tongue, which, that map of the tongue is wrong, but there is a higher distribution of bitter receptors in the back versus the front.
Yeah, well, you can feel it when you drink something or eat something bitter. It hits right, and sour also kind of hits back there too. So so with this sort of, I think we were going to talk about wine pairing, but I don't really want to. It sounds pretty boring. If you have a tannic wine, eat something juicy, right? And if you have a juicy wine, eat something dry or spicy. Is that pretty much
perfect?
All we need to know? All right.
Yeah, so, I'm sure someone from the wine and spirits education.
I have done so many wine episodes. They're fine. God. They can go back and listen to the last couple. I've done a lot of wine episodes. So I want to talk about booze. So whiskey in particular. Whiskey, big drink in Japan, big drink in the East, big drink everywhere. I mean, everybody loves whiskey, right? So what are some
Yep.
foods that would naturally go with like a Scotch whiskey or like an American whiskey or like a bourbon whiskey? Like what are some different components and different things that you've seen that would go really well with those sort of things?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like, gosh, that's a good question. The truth is I don't drink that much. I'm really more of like a cognac kind of guy.
Oh,
So like, and
smooth.
I know, I like it. I like it smooth. The whiskey is a little rough on the back of my throat. But if I had to guess,
Rough on my
I would
tum-tum.
really, yeah, right. Not the day after is real rough. Yeah, I could imagine like fried fritters being really nice with that, or like something like really oily, but like not too like
Interesting.
overly salty. Like I would imagine just like because it's like that strong alcohol, it's just like it really cuts through a lot of that
Yeah.
oiliness. Like I would love that with like fried chicken, for example. Like I mean, if
Ooh,
I'm drinking like if I'm
bourbon
having
fried
like a
chicken.
Korean fried chicken, I think that could be pretty stellar. That could be a nice little pair
Yeah,
there. I would
definitely.
imagine.
And Koreans also, they love their
Oh
whiskey
yeah,
too.
they love
Uh,
their whiskey.
Soul, Soul's a lot
Yeah,
of fun. So yeah,
yeah.
so you brought up cognac, which is sort of a digestif. So talk about what those are. Like, what is an aperitif? What's a digestif? What's the difference between those, and what do they kind of do as well?
I wish I had a definitive answer to that. It's so funny because I actually designed an aperitif with. Don't let them know this that I don't actually know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
like I
I'll
think
keep quiet if you do.
theoretically, it's supposed to have all these different like medicinal compounds,
Yeah,
right? That sort of elicit like the stomach to be like, hey, dude, it's a lot of those bitter compounds. Like, hey, let's chill out a little bit. Let's release some enzymes. Like, slow down. Like, otherwise you're gonna get really upset. So, like that the idea behind it is kind of interesting, which is like, it helps you kind of settle your stomach down, especially if you had a really big meal.
yeah.
I don't know if it's true though. Like, if I had to really
I
look into
mean,
the research literature,
everybody
you know,
swears by it. I mean, I go to Italy and there's this aperitif that they try to sell you everywhere. It looks like it's going to taste amazing. It's this little red vial, and they're always like, "Oh, the aperitif." And I'm like, "No, no, no," because I one time when I was there, I did it, and it was just like the most bitter, crazy thing I'd ever tasted. I thought
so
it was
so
so
bitter.
bitter, and so
It's
why do
so
you want?
bitter.
Does bitter open your taste buds up, or like, and then does on the other side of that, something like cognac, which is more sweet, more savory, sort of more a lot of umami, I would imagine in cognac. I'll put it into the calculator and find out the flavor
Yeah,
dome.
yeah, yeah.
And so how does that kind of work? Does the savory sort of close everything down? Does the bitter wake everything up? Like what do we know about that?
So I mean, like from my research as a graduate student, yeah, we're gonna go back there. So bitter
Let's
compounds.
just picture him. He's in a coat. It's got those little it's got the things on the sleeves, of the patches on the sleeves, and he's walking around telling other people how much their papers suck. Go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go right. Yeah, like
I'm
gosh, I
just
really
setting the
need my
scene,
lab
Brian. I'm
coat.
just setting the scene.
Thank you, thank
Setting the
you.
scene.
Proof, proof.
And you're in
No,
Wisconsin. There's
I'm in
giant
Wisconsin.
mosquitoes flying like bats
Oh
right
my
across your
gosh,
face.
it's like hot, and I live in basically the basement. Don't talk to me about those bad times. Bad times. I don't want to relive
That's the
them.
next time you come on. We are only talking about that.
Oh no! Then
and
I need a
you are
couple
100%.
beers.
You are 100% coming on again, and we are only talking
Oh
about
my
that.
gosh, we have to drink. Like we can do
Oh,
shots every
sure.
time. I'm like, this
Done.
is like when I had a fight with my advisor. I
Yes.
think I'm smarter
Yes.
than him, if you can believe that,
I
right?
couldn't believe a grad student would think that. It's
Oh my gosh,
impossible to imagine.
yeah, if you can believe
Anyway,
that.
you're in grad
Anyway,
school. You're writing a
in
paper
graduate
about
school,
bitter.
yeah. So bitter compounds, a lot of them, I'm trying to like make this the layman's version because like
I am
I
the
really
lamest
forgot about it.
man.
No,
You're like,
layman. No, Steve, you're awesome.
please.
You got Your inner child has to tell you that.
I see. My inner child. That's a good one. All right. Chapman beat that out of me very quickly.
Yeah.
Orange County is not for inner children.
No, hell no. I know the feeling. No, the truth is, like, there's a lot of these bitter compounds have a particular structure, right? And that's what allows them to be bitter. That's why we have all these receptors. Technically, they're poisons, right? Or at least our body perceives them as poisons. And that's why we're like this kind of sucks. But the cool thing about poisons is that in the right dose, they tell your body to reprogram itself to deal with it. And so you start activating all these like detox enzymes that kind of go nuts. Oh. And I think that's where it comes from. It's just like you do so much damage eating like really oily, really like sweet, really salty foods to your gut. That like all these things sort of reactivate. They're like, oh, like let's clean it out. It's like your waste disposal machine, right? And you just like hit on, right? Like with all these bitter compounds, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to treat it like a poison, and deal with it.
Just flush it out. Huh?
Just flush it out.
I love it. All right, Bryan, tell us all about your book, 150 Food Science Questions Answered. I imagine it's right around 150 pages. I can't imagine it's any longer than that, but go ahead and tell us all about it. And then also where we can get it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So this was my way of procrastinating, which is to write another book, versus my dissertation, if you can believe that. So,
I can
my wife was like, what the F are you doing? No, she approved of it.
We curse. We can curse on this show. We're rated explicit.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I can say all sorts of things. Great.
Yeah.
Holding back.
Next time.
When we're drinking.
That's right.
No, I basically was like, you know what? This is the one that people are going to read, not the other one. Like no one's reading that one. That was a terrible book anyway. I hate writing it. So I really liked writing this one. And it's just like all the questions that you want to ask. You know, things like why do onions make you cry? That's a good one because I did my research on onions, right?
Okay.
But there's other stuff like, why don't you want to drink raw milk? I'll tell you why it's a bad idea. Contentious stuff, even back then.
The raw milk thing escapes me. I don't get it. I don't get why people drink milk. Like I'll go all milk. Once you hit like 15, 16, how old? I mean,
done.
Yeah.
Done.
There's other things.
Find another thing. Don't drink beer.
Drink beer.
There's so many things to drink. I know. It's so funny. Go figure. But people like their milk. This is America, right? Wisconsin and Idaho. It's all propaganda. California, Wisconsin, and Idaho.
I was gonna say California, yeah.
Oh, pushing big milk.
Love their milk there. Yeah. So you wrote this book. This was the one you wanted to write. And so you answer a lot of these kind of questions that a lot of people have. What are some of the most popular questions you've received besides the onion thing? What are some other ones?
There's why, what's going on with like wheat and gluten? Like what the heck is gluten, right?
Yeah.
Like why is it so important in wheat? Well, it's like basically the essential part. Like if you take out the gluten, you basically have cornstarch, right? Like, so I talk about like, what's the chemistry behind that? And then like, why do you want to like cook meat at a certain temperature? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and like a lot of it has to do with the protein. You heat it too much, the water like just drops out and it gets all dry. It's like there's an actual reaction that's happening. And then I debunk some stuff, some myths, right? I talk about why a refrigerator works. I don't know, super random stuff. Like I honestly, like half the book was pitched to me by the publisher and was like, we already found 75 questions. And I was like, cool, you did half my work. Awesome. But you're going to pay me very little. I got it.
Like, I wrote a book like that. Yeah.
They get you, man. They're like, yeah, you're going to change the world with your book.
Like, a lot of truths. A lot of truths coming out. A lot of hard truths.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, the first book is always like your little like bitch book, right? Like you try to be like a
you write this monkey.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And guess what? We're not going to pay you for gas either. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's why you got to be in the house. You got to be in the house all day.
Well, Dr. Bryan Lay, thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate it. Tell us where we can get your book, where we can find you, what's your website, your personal address, email, stuff like that. Go ahead and let us know all that fun stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, so you can get my book, 150 Food Science Questions Answered, on Amazon. But if you get it bootleg, I don't mind because I don't get paid for that. So, whatever works. You can even email me and I can hook you up with a free copy.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's right. Steve knows what's up. Just free. And then
I'm going to have him sign my UCI Anteaters jersey.
Oh, I will 100% do that. I will absolutely do that. If I'm ever in Idaho, if I'm ever hang out in Columbia, right?
Oh, dude, let's go take the tour. I know the guy that runs Jerome Cheese. We can tour that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's get some beers. And then, my company is Mendocino Food Consulting. So you can do mendocinofoodconsulting.com. Or if you type in my name, I literally just pop up everywhere and anywhere. New York Times, Fortune, National Geographic. Yeah, I'm just dropping it.
Idaho Booze Podcast.
Yeah, dude, top of the line. Yeah, this is 5-star level.
You do a pretty good job over here. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, Bryan. I really appreciate it. And, I can't wait to have you back on. We're going to I promise we're going to have you back on and we're going to talk about some of these grad school shenanigans and other things that you went through. Because I think food and beer and food and wine, food and booze, it's probably one of the biggest things that I hear about when I'm out and about. So I know people are going to be interested in hearing this. I know it's going to be a big show. So thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, man. Anytime. Can't wait to have you back. Anyway, we're going to be right back. The show brought to you by Boise Beer Buddies and BoiseBeerBuddies.com. It is that time of the year again. Oktoberfest, pumpkin beers, fresh hops. Don't get stuck paying top dollar for every single beer you're going to drink this fall. Be a buddy and get a Boise Beer Buddies card for the happiest time of the year for beer. Use my promo code BOOZEPOD to get a second Beer Buddy card for free. That's a BOGO BB. You don't want to miss out on all the amazing Oktoberfest, fresh hops, and pumpkin beers this fall. So be a buddy. Get your Boise Beer Buddies card today with my promo code BOOZEPOD at BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast, the Larry Legend episode. For those that know, for those who know, FAFO. You guys know we had a department of war. Anyway, what's going on? It's the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar brought to you by Boise Beer Buddies. You know what I like to say, be a buddy. Go get a Boise Beer Buddies card today. Get 2 for 1. Get a Pogo BB from me. Who's Pod at checkout. Get 2 for 1 Boise Beer Buddies cards. Be a buddy. Boise Beer Buddy card today. What is happening this weekend in the greater Idaho area? Well, I'll tell you what. We've got on Friday grand opening weekend at Old Speak Bar. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this place has been open for the better part of the last 6 months. So I don't know why they're having a grand opening 6 months in. But you know what? Adam Fleck is going to be there. It's going to be from, it looks like all day long, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 12 hours. Ooh, big party. So, yeah, go check that out at Old Speak Bar. Go meet Adam. He's a great dude. Go back and listen to him on the show. You'll see how great of a guy he is. Go check that out. Old Speak, fantastic place. Will be much better once they get my book in there if they haven't already. I hope they have. Yeah, go check them out. Old Speak Bar. It's on Chinden in Garden City. And you can't miss it. It's really cool. We got Oktoberfest. I said it the same way twice. Oktoberfest. I don't know where the emphasis is on the syllable. Bryce, maybe you can help me out here. This is at Brownbeard's Barrel House. This is down also in Garden City in Chinden. This is they're going to have Oktoberfest lager. They're going to have some pizza, and they're going to have Johnny Pisano. What better way to celebrate Oktoberfest than Johnny Pisano? Oh, Johnny, you sing us so well. He's going to be live. That's going to be from 4 to 10 p.m. at Brownbeard's Barrel House. Go check that out. Oktoberfest. Then we have Twin Falls Oktoberfest. This is down in downtown Twin, 4 to 10 p.m. If you're down there, check that out in the Magic Valley. Why not? I bet that's a good time. Go say hi to everybody there, Shane, everyone else down there. And then we also have a tap takeover with Firestone Walker at the Pour Company. This is in Moscow. We love the Pour Company. Hey, shout out to everybody over at the Pour Company. And the tap takeover with Firestone Walker will be 5 to 9 p.m. They're going to have a bunch of beers on tap, and it'll be a lot of fun. And looks like, let's see, this is just an Oktoberfest. There's no weird other thing here. This is going to be in downtown Meridian. This is happening on Saturday. They're doing a pregame at Loose Screw on Friday. So Friday night, 6 p.m., you can go in and try their fest beers. They have a Schwartz beer, which I've tried, which is fantastic. And they have an Oktoberfest lager, Marzen lager, that I'm told by the people there is also fantastic. So I am looking forward to that. And you can go and check all that out on BoiseBeerBuddies.com. And on Saturday, we have free yoga at Proletariat Wine. That sounds like a good time. No goats for that one, though. So that's where you're going to have to meet me halfway, Proletariat. I like goats with my yoga, especially if I'm drinking a big cab with it. Just give me some goats. But anyway, they have free yoga. Fantastic. 10 a.m. at Proletariat. 11 a.m. Oktoberfest continues in downtown Twin Falls. They love a good Oktoberfest down there, and they're going to be doing it all day Saturday as well. They're going to be doing a Pound for Pink. Don't know what that is at Green Acres Food Truck Park. Looks like it's like an October. No, it's not. It's just an event, and that's from 10 to 11 a.m. So get there quick. Or go to Meridian Oktoberfest, which is going to be hosted by the Meridian Chamber of Commerce. Is in downtown Meridian. Live music, cultural performances, contests, games, food, and drink. What else could you want? This is from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. at downtown Meridian, and then you can head on over to Loose Screw for sort of the after party. But Loose Screw will also have beers at that Oktoberfest, so it should be a good time down there. Then we have grand opening weekend continuing at Old Speak. Again, don't understand that at all. 11:30. Let's see, Pumpkins and Pints Fall Festival. This is at Western Collective. Oh, that should be fun. You can go over there and check out some Pumpkins and Pints. And then Brewers Haven is going to be having a ping pong and pints tournament starting at noon. So that's something for all you kids out there. And then at noon, Kill the Keg at the Yard Arm. Oh, yeah, Yard Arm closes. So Yard Arm's closing down. They need your help. This is desperate. They need you to kill the kegs. And you are the person that they are choosing the most for that job, because if you're listening to this, let's face it, you probably love beer and you're probably going to kill these kegs. So let's see it. Let's see what you can do. Yard Arm, Garden City. There's going to be food, barbecue. So get after it. And then Oktoberfest continues at Brownbeard Barrel House. They're going to be doing a Braggot collab with Noble Mead. Ooh, you know what a Braggot is, right? 10 points to Gryffindor. That is a mead/beer. So it's a beer and mead combination. That's going to be happening. Wow. Noble Mead and Brownbeard pairing up. They're going to have Gary Tackett live 2 to 5 p.m. and Foy's Frank slinging German dogs all day. Man, that sounds like an awesome time down there at Brownbeard. So get on over to Brownbeard's Barrel House and check that out. What else is happening? Oh, I don't know. Just the 3rd annual Idaho Cider Fest, brought to you by Merriweather, our good friends of the show. Molly Merriweather will be there. She'll be Bannock Street, and this will be downtown. Games, vendors, food, cider, probably some beers as well. A little bit of something for everybody, I imagine. Payette's doing the Makers Movement, 12 to 7 p.m. Not sure what that is. Should be fun. Here's How Public House. Ooh, the artist formerly known as Jumpin' Janet's is doing a night market, 5 to 9 p.m. at Vista Plaza. That should be a good time. Go check that out at Here's How Public House. Hopefully friend of the show, Matt owns that place, doing a great job with it. And then on Sunday, grand opening weekend continues at Old Speak Bar. We have the Sunday market at Mother Earth Brewing in Nampa from 12 to 4. That might be something I might go check out with the doggies. 6 to 8 p.m. we have Oktoberfest at Highlands Hollow. Highlands Hollow, not to be forgotten, doing their Oktoberfest 6 to 8 p.m. 2 hours of Oktoberfest at Highlands Hollow up there on the hill in Bogus Basin. So lots going on this weekend. Should be a really fun weekend celebrating the harvest and whatnot. And beer book bars that have been open for 6 months or more. It should be a good time. So go check that out. Get on BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Get your Boise Beer Buddy card and get this newsletter sent to your email box each and every week. Stacy does an amazing job putting it together. Go get, be a buddy. Go get a Boise Beer Buddies card. Get 2. Hell, use my promo code BOOZEPOD at checkout. You're going to get that second one for free. Give it to your best beer buddy at BoiseBeerBuddies.com. I'm going to wrap it all up right after this. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Coots, and we are wrapping things up thanks to Dr. Bryan Lee. Bryan, awesome guest, good dude. I recommend inviting him into your home if you see him around. He's just that great of a guy. Just have him in. Say, come on in, Bryan. Tell us why this pepper is so spicy. Something. Great guest. Awesome job, Bryan. Thank you so much for explaining beer and wine pairings to us on the molecular level. I want to thank Warren Reserve and WarrenReserve.com for that pumpkin spice syrup. That stuff is bananas good. It's a great way to get a pumpkin drink without having to go buy a pumpkin drink. Just go onto the website, WarrenReserve.com, and grab 3 bottles of the pumpkin spice syrup for just $29.99. And you can make your own pumpkin spice espresso martini. Ooh, sounds so good. I can't wait to try one. I need to go and get some of that pumpkin spice for myself. I'm going to get online right now. Clackety, clackety, clackety. I am on the webs. I also want to thank Boise Beer Buddies. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. Stacy's doing a hell of a job. Saw she was up north this weekend, perusing some breweries up there, I imagine. Good for her. Have a great time while you're up there, Stacy. Say hi to everyone from us here at the show. And finally, want to thank Treasure Valley Chevron. TVC has everything you need for a tailgate. And you know what? Their prices, it's a gas station. Their prices are pretty good. I'm going to say it. Pretty good prices for a gas station. I frequent the one on Beacon Light and Highway 55 quite a bit. So if you can, and if you need to, head on over to TVC, Treasure Valley Chevron, I-84 and Gowan Road, or Beacon Light and Highway 55, and get set up for your next tailgate or football Sunday or whatever floats your boat. Anyway, this has been episode 33 of the second season, the Larry Legend episode. For those who know, you know what I'm talking about. I want to say, go Mariners. Oh my God, the Mariners are in the playoffs. Go M's. We got to kill them. We got to beat them. Whoever it is. I think we're playing either the Yankees or the Red Sox. We got to beat them. Go Mariners. It's been so long. I know they were kind of in the playoffs last year, but this is like for real. They're a good team. It's so exciting. Anyway, go Mariners. Get out there. Enjoy an Oktoberfest this weekend. Maybe I'll see you around. I'm planning on going to at least 2 Oktoberfests and maybe even 1 beer book bar opening. I didn't know that they had just opened. Swear to God, they've been open for 6 months. Anyway, should be a good time. Have a great weekend out there. To all you folks out there listening, thank you so much. Thank you for reading the column. And good day and good drinking, everyone. Guten Tag.